What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Thank you for choosing once again to click on the channel. This is OYAOY. I'm simply here to do my job. Get the messages to the collective. How is everybody? Thank you guys for your continued support. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button, all the buttons you need to hit so you can get the messages. I'm going to go ahead and do this twin flame burn reading. Because if you know, the nail is in the coffin. A lot of us have experienced these false twin flames, certain connections, and you know it always leads to coming into union with yourself or your spiritual union. Okay, it could be also with the Most High, with your soulmate, whether it's your actual divine counterpart or your children. But I wanted to hop on and do this message just because I got some stuff to add to it. After dealing with a karmic twin flame, which is just a certain relationship that is used to push you into who you actually are. So please, guys, only take what resonates. I'm only here to give it to you so you can have it. We're all stars in our own show, but this may or may not be for you. So it's crazy because I was seeing like certain videos on TikTok, right, where they'd be like, well, if the devil can't reach you, he'll send this person in, or he'll send this person in, or he'll send this person in, right? And right before I had actually met this person, I was at a time in my life where like I was done. I wasn't fucking with my baby daddy. I was like, friends and family, I'm starting to see through them. Certain people that I had around me that was only there for what they wanted to get out of me or what they wanted to use just to see if I was, doing worse than them or worse than I was at first. I was just started seeing all the fake shit that was around me. So I'm like, I'm getting ready to pull back, smoke by myself, drink by myself, do everything by my goddamn self. For real. I started doing things by myself. And I had actually, it was one night where, I was actually introduced to this person. And it's like, as soon as this person came into my life, everything just, it was like fireworks and bombs over Baghdad at the same time. And for the longest time, I kept, trying to hold on to the situation because I'm like, of course, I'm still being blessed during the time because, it seemed that as if we, had the deepest soul connection, regardless of where we both were in life. And it's crazy because, no matter what I experienced, I love this person. And I'm like, I've witnessed and watched how far, certain forces were against us just when we was just trying to be our best self. And it was like nothing was always working. And it was, the craziest thing. But I had to accept that I was also being shown and guided to, pieces and parts of me that were scattered around and why exactly I had met this person. Because what the devil does is always used for God's purpose. And I was just like, what I was dealing with, I couldn't explain it. I know I felt every bit of it. And during the time, it was like, I was getting visits from certain family members and shit. I mean, these are certain people that, have never really been around me for real. It was like, I always had some level of, the one that don't nobody fuck with for real. But it was like when I got with this person, it was like certain people would always pop up. I was always seeing certain people. So I started dealing with the, to me, I call them once again, them spiritual spies, people that would always, show up just to see what I was doing, how I was feeling, how things was going. And I just, I was pushed to a point where I knew that I was being attacked. I didn't know that it was literally coming, from inside the house, but I knew I was being attacked. And it was like certain family members were passing, and I ended up catching the false charge, and then, getting away from certain people because I knew when my eyes had opened, it was like everything that I was experiencing, I got pushed straight to God. And I didn't understand why I was going through such the level of spiritual warfare I was, because, I've never been perfect, but I've always been one of them people with a big heart. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I ain't on no foolery shit when I got with this dude. It used to be back in the day. It was like, we maybe try to juggle a few or whatever. But I was like, when I met this person, I knew that I wanted to be with him and him alone. But, it was so many red flags that I had, hit the gas through. I was like, no, I'm going to war with God for this person because that's who I want to be with. But it was like it was completely used for my initiation to be who I am, and it opened up my eyes to who all's involved, because like at the end of the day, I done connected everybody together, like who's who, why this certain person was sent towards me, why I ended up on the certain lands that I did, why I ended up at the certain jobs and certain things that were going on, because I was actually being used by God to take a lot of these people out of the positions that they thought they'd continue to be in because of the things that they have been doing for so long. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this twin flame read, because it was at a certain time, I started getting accused of practicing witchcraft and stuff like that, because, I started getting into my Bible. I started out first with oracle cards, and I was doing bibliomancy, and my gifts have always been, in me, but not activated because I suppressed them so much because I wasn't like nobody that was around me. I was just like literally in a dead vessel because I felt like that I couldn't do more than those around me that I love, because I didn't want to leave them. But little did I know, I was being used and abused simply so these certain people around me could come up. And it was just, it's been going on for so long. I had to be placed where I was, which was, in was it public housing, so I could start seeing things for what they were. And that's when I ran into this person. And, from there it's just been, a roller coaster of emotions, and also a lot of gaining that wisdom that I needed, to know, just how things happen within the dark, and how much, deep healing is needed to love and to love myself and to continue on with my purpose. And it has been a ride, but it's also been one of those eye-opening things, because it was like literally, you know, especially when you in certain cities, you connect to people, not knowing, they connected to people, and then somewhere down the line, your family and they family could literally be connected or married together. Like just the dark shit that goes on within certain families that people don't talk about. But this could be pertaining to you in a karmic twin flame relationship, twin flame burns, learning to love yourself, coming to union with your masculine and feminine energy. And I'm seeing that a lot of women are doing that now, where they starting to accept, hey, maybe, you first need to come into balance with yourself. Because I think that's what I was doing for the longest, was believing, I need that family. I never had that family, so I wanted the family. And it was just like so much shit was going on in the background that I didn't recognize, that these certain spouses that are whether you label them narcissists or you label them karmic, or people that we're supposed to spend less time with, that could ultimately just be distractions, or they could be, more bonded to our lowest self, because these keep us from reaching our fullest potential. Like I was started to see, like, damn, it's almost like you literally sought out spiritually by some of these energies to come in and, give these false representations of love or certain things like that for, the enemy to be able to win. But, I was able to figure out what it is that, I wanted and needed. And, it's most definitely myself and, love for the highest good, and not, wishing people harm, but wishing people are opened up to seeing what is actually going on when it comes to being with the spouse or being with someone that will not manipulate you or abuse you, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally. Okay, so within your certain I don't know why I'm getting this. Someone could have literally been using someone's, tax information, or using information pertaining to a business or these certain jobs that you could have went through. Something about some texts of what was going on with certain people. So let's see what these twin flame burns are. Yeah, a lot of people that are getting caught up. It's a lot of energy around children. Maybe you was even dealing with things with your children when certain things was going on. My children are most definitely, they could be affected by, what we experiencing in some of these relationships. So let's talk about it. What are these twin flame burns people could be healing from now, or having knowledge of? What is it that we need to know? I keep getting false representation. Okay, so these are ones, maybe you could have had to come up at the energy of being blue or in a depressive state, okay, after dealing with a karmic twin flame. Okay, so who got the ointment? A lot of us is healing from this. It could have been certain people that were dealing with cameras, jammers, listening devices, and this is one of the things that I've experienced. Um, who would think that people would literally put cameras in your home to view you or to catch you on camera with your partner in one of the most sensual moments that you've actually experiencing with together? This is like intimate moments that could have been caught on, and then I'm getting like online, and I had told my partner this because I'm like, it had came to me. I'm like, I know, we may have, recorded a couple for us, or I'm thinking they for us, but it just kept coming to me that there was like more movies of those intimate moments. So I'm like, this shit's bigger than Nino Brown. But the thing about it is, these are also the false accusations that some of us could deal with, where you believe that maybe your partner's doing something against you, or your partner believes you doing something against them, and not knowing that you're going against dark forces that really want to keep your relationship from thriving. Because once again, when two people heal, two people come together, it's like it almost catapults both parties into being the best that they could be, and that rubs off around you, whether it's your lineage or your communities. Okay, that's why it goes vice versa. Sometimes you can go the opposite end, and everything is catastrophic. Okay, so let's see what we get. Why am I getting blue can? Something about scanning something or jammer. Some of you could have really dealt with that. And these are also certain people that, could be coming from certain families. And the families that you have come from were the ones that, sacrifice you some type of way, whether it was for diamonds, pearls, money, girls, fast cars, hoes, clothes. Some children were offered up as whole meals to dark kingdoms. Okay, so you have different mothers, karmic mothers, that could be coming up in the energy now, receiving karma simply because they knew that since the beginning they could have been doing something against their children to offer them up. And like I said, if I imagine, going into a relationship not fully aware of where things are being tied and placed around you, or how you being actually binded to a certain level of darkness or sacrifice, and not knowing that you're supposed to be the person that goes through a lot of harm or experience a lot of harm, and then you go out and you may be found, or someone may do like a arranged marriage, or you might actually fall in love and then something happens and you can't explain it. Like something like this is coming up. Okay, so I don't know if you could be finding out something involving your lineage or your family, something about the sacrifice here, and the plot was to make sure that you were separated from the concept of actual home and family, in order for you to like go into a dark state. And the level of suffering that you experienced was only for you to sacrifice for someone else to actually be birthed into a certain level of abundance. Okay, so this is like spiritual theft to the highest, where these certain things are done while you are a child, in order for you to come up to actually be in a a poverty state, or be in a low state, for certain people to like have free move-ins on your energy. Maybe you wasn't taught how to love. Maybe you was dealing with abandonment. Maybe you was dealing with certain people that may not have shown you financial literacy, or how you could come up on extra money without maybe either selling yourself or doing something. Something was false here. Okay, something was false here. Maybe you was always left out simply so someone could feel like this is like you feeling left out, or someone feeling left out, so that you could always want to be in someone's face, or you felt like you always needed someone around. Let me see. These karmic mothers are coming up so much in these different readings. A lot of them are under heavy judgment. Okay, because you have siblings here, you have mothers, these certain ones that this is damn near going back to the selling of you know what I'm saying, the selling into slavery, or some that were offering up. I keep getting the name Williams. I've been getting the name Williams for a minute, but some of the people that were offered up into a level of slavery. So it's given like the Cinderella energy. Maybe you were meant to have a certain lifestyle, but those around you that chose to do what they did to figure out what they could do to make sure this went some other way. Because I'm getting that there is somebody that's into divinity. You got shells here, so like cowrie shells. Let me see what this is. And it's like so much was going on. Like it wasn't a chance to heal. When I started seeing just how much the background was manipulated, I'm like, yeah, the people that have been doing the things that they have for money, like I said, you don't wish death on people, but you know, death could be what most of them are going to receive, because it's almost like selling you a bit in your energy in the spiritual realm, where certain people were growing off of your prosperity, or off of your inheritance, off of your essence, off of your just off of you, period, like off your back. And I had did that reading where I'm like, stand up, because once you stand up, a whole city's gonna fall down, because there are literally cities and towns that are built up off the suffering of other people. And it's like, this shit's been going on for so long. We're gonna have to get in that energy of being real selfish when it comes to our essence, our life force, our creativity, you know, because this is what they do. They actually exchanging spiritually in the background. So you got Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and Page of Swords. Oh, yeah, walking away from, you got Ten of Swords, so walking away from a lot of suffering that could be going on right now. Actually healing yourself emotionally. And I didn't really get the, what was it? The financial abuse until I actually experienced it, because it's almost like it's created to the point where, you know, like me, I'm a go getter no matter, you know, how shit goes. I know I got money out here. I know who owes me money. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what I'm supposed to have. I had it 10 times over. Most of the times, shit that I lose is because I'm too busy worried about somebody else other than myself. But it's like I had to learn that, you know, I can't put myself into somebody else's hands, because if I do that, that could also be used as abuse, because it's like people that can't wait for you to come and borrow $20, $30, $40, and these are the same ones that know that they playing with thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they want you to come begging for like the small crumbs. So I don't know if this was like something about you being the head of in your own house, your own energy. And it's like, since you was underage, somebody was like paying and bidding on your energy. And these people literally use the devil's backbone. They use it as a way to be able to have like a false foundation that's now coming down. They can't preserve anything anymore. A lot around glamour and illusions. Okay, because I was going through this too. These are like certain people that do work with this mirror image and mirror magic, or whatever they do. It's like they want you to appear as them. Imagine somebody that like can take control over your looks. Oh, but the shit's so dark and weird, but it's like taking control over how you seen. So when somebody looks at you, they actually see this other person, or they see a darkness in you, but it's actually somebody else. Something like that. Certain things that I experienced too. Like, what else? Yeah, it's like healing your essence while they are, their come up is off the harm of your essence, while they highest, like they harvest the highest your pure energy, tapping into your wisdom, your knowledge, your Akashic records, who you are, by doing this extra shit that they do. I'm even getting that a lot of these certain companies are getting caught up too. Whether it's these are like say you go and you working for a certain company, or what is it called? Like a temp agency, where they get your information. They have people that actually do this type of work too once they receive your birth date. Yeah, they doing like extra stuff. And it's crazy because like nobody believes that they would actually be like stalked and harassed on this certain level by people that appear to have it all or have more. But the way that they have received this this status or this lifestyle is by making these certain sacrifices, by doing whatever they're doing. These people are completely obsessed with some energy here. So what's this twin flame burn? Yeah, doing a lot on the moon. It's like they want to keep control of certain wealth that they not. Okay, so maybe you and a spouse was actually dealing with this, where every time you went to make some money, there was some money that was leaving. And this was one thing that I was experiencing, because it was like, even though I was making more money by actually working, because I was still working hard after experiencing, going through the stalking, the harassing, the secret monitoring, the shit that they were doing in the background. It was more harmful, but I was given the strength to still get up and go to work. And it was like, you dealing with the coworkers, you dealing with other people that have also been, backdooring you by coming up some type of way by getting information or doing these little secret spills while you at work. You have some people that were doing things to make sure that maybe your energy bill was higher, because my energy bill, like, we were paying like $400 or $500 a month, knowing that it was only two people in the place. Like, the bill was so high. It was constant harassment from the beginning. It's like we really didn't have a chance to progress into being who we are destined to be, simply because this spiritual harassment was going on so much. And it's why, even now I could never feel any type of way about this person, because I have watched and I have witnessed, and I was literally trained in this relationship to see just how dark, who's all involved and why. And I'm not looking for any type of reconciliation or apology from family, friends, co-workers, or certain people like that. To me, this is already the end. I could care less, how it goes after this, because I've spoken up about how people will do whatever they possibly can to keep somebody in a position that they not meant to be in. When people get that God complex and they want to play over your life, and they start to dibble and dabble in witchcraft, or they use the people that they know to make sure that somebody's life is a living hell, I choose to speak out against it. I don't care if it's a fucking politician, a celebrity, or somebody that works within the courts, or anybody. I'm going to always speak about it. Because it's not right. This is why you're seeing people now dealing with open cases. Like, sue these people, sue these tech companies, sue these people that have had control over your certain cases, these certain people that have manipulated things to the point where if they come to you with an opportunity or some type of, hey, do this for me, and you don't do it because you're choosing to do something right, they go after you, they target you, because you have people that have already experienced certain abuse, and these people are recruited to also abuse others. And it's just, I mean, it's just what it is. You could literally be moving away from an area right now because you was going through some type of harassment in a certain community, and this is because somebody could have literally been tapping into your Wi-Fi. Like, and it's crazy because I was literally calling my phone company, and I'm like, why, you know what I'm saying? Why for one, my service sucked, but it's like I always knew when somebody was hacking into my router, because it wouldn't work, or something funny would go on, or then I would have like random people walking around my house. It's like they brainless agents at this point. And it's like they push certain people to give up, or they push them to a level of addiction, or they push them to being the worst that they could possibly be, because nobody believes that, if there's a God, then we would go through so much pain and suffering. But that's because people need to start calling their energy back, letting these people go where they go. Do not pray for them anymore. Do not give them any type of mercy, because they didn't give you none. And that's just where I'm at with it. Okay, like, some of these people, it's just what it is. Start giving them their energy back. And it was crazy because when I was being accused of doing anything, I'm like, if I was, most of you bitches be dead already. Like, let's be for real. Some of them are upset because maybe you breaking a cycle. You're not trying to sacrifice your child. You're not going to sacrifice their sexuality, or you're not putting them up against certain things, or you're not allowing what you've experienced in your own childhood to rub off and continue a cycle. Like, these people are sick to the point where they will pretend to be healed and happy, but a lot of them are getting ready to get knocked on their ass in the background because they don't have the spirit, they don't have the power. The power that they thought they had is actually being broken, because they was being enabled and assisted by, these Jezebel spirits and incubus and succubus, also these different energies, and they don't have wisdom. They don't. They just have knowledge of certain things within the spiritual realm, because of who they was connected with. So somebody's messages could have actually been getting deleted. Something about somebody could have literally, okay, so you got Wi-Fi routers, desktops, laptop, notebooks, phones, monitors, optical storage, Taiwan. Okay, and this crazy because this is one of the things I experienced too. Like the certain things that you love to do, whether you a writer or you artist or a nail tech, certain things that revolve around creativity where these are actually your natural talents. Those certain things that you have, if you are in these certain relationships, they get damaged. These are like the first things that people go for, because they know, if this is like something that you could do that was a natural born talent, you can use it to, take care of yourself. These certain people, if they're not stealing the ideas, they would maybe damage computers, delete certain things out of your phone, delete things out of your Wi-Fi routers. This is like this is spiritual law that they have broken. Spiritual law that they have broken. We don't care about their water spirits or what they've been doing. Continue to check your emotions, because you literally, I don't know why, certain people could use that word hate, and this is just like saying that they hate what you're doing, and they hate that you have this certain path, or they hate that you have some wisdom, or they hate that maybe you have some wealth, but it's only because they couldn't hold your energy. A lot of them wanted to do like the switch up, the destiny swap, or they wanted to appear as you doing something that you're supposed to do, but they wanted to do it, but they wanted to hate that you were doing it. Some weird shit like that. That a lot of them didn't cover their tracks. So these are these certain ones that have took it upon themselves to go against, whether they was going against certain unions, or you done been in certain unions where you was literally sent a spiritual hitter, or a hitman, or a warlock, or somebody that couldn't come in and sacrifice you or abuse you or sacrifice a child here. They could have been working with these third parties of different people. They could have been under the control of a Jezebel spirit, the ones that wanted to hold your energy. And this is crazy because it's what I say. It's always like the circle of life. It comes back around. Everybody gets connected. You realize who's who's been working, how it works. Okay. So what else we got? These certain karmic relationships also create these contracts, okay? So if you bind it in like a karmic marriage or certain things like that, these are the ones, man, they will literally want to get you sick. So they could say that they need to have control over your finances, or they need to have control over your movement, or they need to be the ones that, sign for you. Imagine being on a breathing machine on your last breath, and the person that you married that's supposed to have these type of responsibilities is a dark agent, and this person comes in like, you know what I'm saying, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take her off the machine, or I'm gonna go ahead and sign that, you let her go or you let him go, but not knowing the whole time that this person was only meant to make sure that you didn't make it to be your high self, or you didn't make it to a level of wisdom or a certain that y'all, I mean, it's sickening to believe that certain people will go this way to make sure that you're not happy, or you're not healed, and you're not enjoying the life that God has for you, or that we've all been promised, but they will. I mean, you're not ready, you're not ready. But somebody wanted to like keep you in a some type of contract in order for them to have the power to sign over if you're on a life machine, or if you, and this is how you got to start looking at it. Look, turn and look at your partner, and if you look at your partner and something happens and you in a hospital and you have to have an organ transplant, or you have to be, taken care of, is this person going to be there with you? Are they going to change your diapers? Are they going to change your socks, wash your ass when you can't? Like, this is what we got to start seeing, like these certain ones. And so if you're feeling down about a relationship that didn't work, this is probably because it was only a relationship you were supposed to spend less time on, get knowledge of, and learn. Um, that everything for your highest good first starts with loving yourself. And if you with your counterpart, you're not going to deal with, you know, as much. You're going to deal with this. I mean, it could literally be stalking. It could be old relationships. It could be people that, you know, are grouping together to make sure that this relationship don't fall through. But you're going to have a partner that works against you. You're not going to have somebody that is you're fighting them in the world, or you're fighting them in a group, or them. Just know that that's just how this shit goes. Okay, a lot of times when somebody has a third party or somebody's hanging in the background, it's because your sexual energy is being used to fill up the Jezebel kingdom. This is where spirit babies and stuff come in, where you know, maybe know that you was pregnant, or you may go through miscarriages or weird menstrual cycles, or you may gain a lot of weight, or you may lose a lot of weight, you may get sick, certain things like that. Your body will tell you if somebody's in the background dealing with another spirit, or if there's a Jezebel or incubus succubus spirit attached to this relationship. And another way too is I've learned, you know, we starting to learn, we were speaking about spiritual spouses, spiritual husbands, spiritual wives, these certain people that know that you destined for your heart's desires. Okay, so what is this twin flame burn? Twin flame burns. Yeah. Another way is, you know, someone that loves you, you're not going to be stalked. I mean, what they say, a woman's meant to lead a man to his soul, and a man's, you know, meant to protect some type of way. But, you know, we come into a point where you balancing out yourself. You know, you can do all these things for yourself. But when you in a certain relationship, it's a, you know, when I realized that I had people that was following me that I didn't, you know was still in my energy, or they was still there, I was like, yeah, this shit's getting sickening. It was to the point, it was like people that I wasn't, you know, messing with for like 6-7 years was stalking. And then, you know, I had people that was still attached to him and that was stalking. And I'm like, why the fuck are they still hanging on? You know, this is like a level of darkness that I will never understand. But the whole goal is to make sure that whoever the person is that's in this relationship, they want both parties to fall. They want both parties to be back down in a level of darkness, because when you come up to your highest and you healed, you bring a lot of things down in the dark kingdom. And we know a lot of this shit is illusions. And I was thinking about it the other day, because I'm like, man, dude, you know, back in the 90s, shit used to be all right. But no, it really wasn't. It's just that we wasn't seeing it, you know, spiritually. We was too busy, you know, caught up in a different lifestyle. Okay. A lot of these energies also, too, they need younger energy. They need to be around children, because these are also like little ponds that they can harvest off of, to have, you know, like a cloak. Yeah. And notice that if you're dealing with some of these energies, some of these people, they're going to search for you in everybody. Simply because if it's authentic, it's really you. It's really you. It's inside of you. But yeah, whoever this twin flame is, this karmic twin flame, they switched up. So this could just simply went from a twin flame to a karmic. You know, the ancestors are real. They do pick and choose who we're gonna be established with when we come into our destiny, whether we believe it or not. Because you don't want to, you know, bring another child in that you with the person that you are not what they say, equally yoked with, or somebody that, you know, secretly wants to offer you and your baby up. It's just crazy though. Yeah. So what is this? Yeah. Some of these karmic twin flames, and they don't literally should deals with the devil. They choosing like their addictions, or they choosing the false feelings of being left out. Because if you have survived a relationship that was meant to kill you, then, you know, someone's not happy. That a lot of them also like to practice, whether it's a witch or warlock. A lot of them like to practice in the dark, a lot of dark shit, because they teaming up with people that have not moved towards healing or actually being happy with themselves. These are the certain people. Karmas or karmas or whatever you call them. We all could be in a lower vibration until we choose to stand up and be better. I've had plenty of times was I was in low level relationships, doing things, trying to fit in, trying to figure it out, running around. None of us have always been perfect. But you really are dealing with people that have chose to have their vessels taken over by this darkness. Because I would never understand why how do you even have time to like stalk somebody? I would never understand. Especially stalk somebody that you really don't like. This is why I'm going to always say that gang stalking is a part of spiritual warfare, because there's nobody in their right mind that's going to take the time out of their day to constantly follow somebody around. Somebody's hoping that you fall for something too. Okay. And this is why, because when you get attached to these different energies, it's almost like they want to keep the delivering certain things, like certain energies, up for these dark kingdoms. So if they can't sacrifice you or they can't do that, they will literally live and be in certain relationships for the longest time, until something actually takes place, which is what we want to avoid now, because you see it a lot now where these love spells and shit backfire, and then you got people taking their spouses out, or you got people that are losing it. But this is because, these certain unions have been targeted for the longest time. Yes, it's sad and it's unfortunate how some people literally will come towards you because of your vitality, because of your spiritual power, because of your spiritual authority. They want to connect with you, to have children, because, they want your children to be a part of karmic lessons, or they want to train them up a certain way. Some of these people, they're just hateful. Okay, they're just hateful. It's just what it is. They use a lot of manipulation, magic. They act selfishly. And the only way that a lot of these things happen are if you are in fear. This is why they want to create fear around finances. Hey, you can't leave me, because if you leave me, you won't have nothing. If you leave me, you can't take care of your children. If you leave me, this and that. And, it's been going on for so long. Some of y'all mothers and fathers experience these same things simply because maybe they wasn't able to, identify like why some of this stuff comes up or why it's happening the way it is. But literally, it's all just part of spiritual work and spiritual warfare. This is why, you wonder why this person knows about what I'm doing and I don't talk to this person. This is because certain people will talk about you, your business, what you doing, everything, to people that you don't even talk to. They will let them know everything, and you wondering why someone maybe always has knowledge of what it is that you're doing, because it has to be known by this, these certain spiritual informants. But just know the switch up didn't work. Okay, a lot of this stuff, I'm trying to go into a different read, but I had to get most of it out because, I had to go through my own catalyst twin, or somebody that, I didn't want to accept was doing the things that they were and the things that I was being accused of. I'm like, well, damn, why would I be getting accused of certain shit like this? But if you actually doing it, or if there's, babies lingering around and shit, or if I'm going through weird ass cycles and I actually witnessing it with my eyes, who's all benefiting off my energy, I'm like, yeah, it's just time to call this shit out and clear it up. Yeah. Some of these people could literally get obsessed with you or your energy because the whole goal is to suffocate it. The whole goal is to benefit off of it. The whole goal could have literally been a death, just to be able to, come up in a lodge or come up in these brotherhoods, these groups, be with Masons. It's like you never think that your ex, your karmic, your family, friends, old co-workers, and all of them will be hiding behind several accounts, constantly watching and doing shit like this because you wasn't sacrificed. But it's just what it is. God is real. They gonna believe it or they not. It doesn't matter. I don't have abandonment issues. I could care less. I'll probably finish this. The rest of this shit out by myself. But it's like they we're looking for horns and all red. But some of these people, they got birds and they got 30-inch bust downs and big booties and shit. Some of them literally are, they have already abandoned they soul. They literally felt like that they was gonna be okay getting things passed out to them from your sacrifice or from certain children being sacrificed. These people are messy as fuck. They're trying to slow down exposure though. This was crazy. They're trying to slow down God, but God's timing is God's timing. Like all the money that they have stolen to make sure that certain people wouldn't have a lifestyle that they, worked hard for. They stolen out of certain accounts, or they, generate higher bills, or they stage car accidents so you can lose your vehicle, or they team up with certain people to having false witnesses in case so you can lose your children, or they'll team up with the courts so they can make sure that everybody spends your inheritance. But all of this stuff will be revealed as it's supposed to, simply because some of us are stronger than others, and somebody's still trying to have like a family after like all this betrayal. That's why a lot of times people come, when you start to come into who you are, and you start to reveal certain secrets or certain things that were going on within the family, or certain secret affairs that could have been going on within certain people that just so they can have access to your energy or access to your money or what's supposed to come to you. You're going to realize that they start to get stripped all the way down. Then they start sitting in the dark trying to figure out, how is all of this coming out? How is all this coming out? Continue to pull back on your energy and let these people fall. It's your message.